Hey everyone, it's Semi-Social here. And hopefully my phone doesn't drop because I have it propped up on the steering wheel. Anywho, guess what? I don't like Jamaicans. Oops. And my phone is about to die. Yeah. Strong statement. And it's a statement that I said around Jamaicans who took offense to it, as they rightfully should. I feel like I have the right to say that because a part of my family, my mother's side of the family, they're from Jamaica, and I lived there when I was a child, and I would go on and off there for like every other year for, I don't know, probably like 10, 15 years I was doing that. I was like a reverse barrel baby. So, my experience as a kid living in Jamaica was amazing. Like, I used to love when my mom would tell me she's getting ready to send me to Jamaica, and we do all the shopping, we put stuff in the barrel. I'm getting my cute little outfits together, and I'm thinking about running around in the backyard, picking mangoes, picking breadfruit, picking ackee, peeling the ackee, getting it ready to cook. Just having fun being in nature in the backyard and being able to walk to the beach, and the water is always so warm and it's so clear. The food out there, the cooked food out there is just absolutely amazing. Like, Jamaica was an oasis for me as a child. Now, when it began to change for me was when I hit 13 years old. When I hit 13 years old, my body was like, throw some D's on that. That is what happened. I'm sorry, a call had just came through, but I was 13 years old, and I had these big old breasts. And, I wasn't mentally prepared for the attention that came with it. I'm still a kid. I'm still loving the fact that I'm in Jamaica and I'm in nature. And then all of a sudden, the attention when I will go down there changed. Like, men were just on me. Like, on me to a point where I was in a situation where I could have gotten raped. But if it wasn't for my aunt and the pull that she had in the town that we lived in, that's what could have happened. Because the man approached me. He had a knife in his hand, and he just was giving me this look like he was ready to come down. I don't know. It was like the timing of the ancestors had me protected, because she just came out of nowhere, and she just said something to him about who she was linked up with, and he left. But so I had to deal with that energy, and I'm only 13 years old. Like, and you can tell because my face, I still had like the round cheeks. You can just tell that I was young. I didn't look like some of these 13 years old, and I didn't act like that. I acted like a child. I still, wanted to play around, run around, play double dutch, jump around, jump rope, whatever. I was still a child at heart. But I was getting all this male attention that when I would go to the States, still with the D's on it, I wouldn't get that same attention from males. It was like a barrier of protection that I got. But down there, it was just ruthless. It was just like browning, wagwan browning. Every time I walked past, and I was just like, I used to hold my uncle's hand and hide behind him, God rest his soul, because I did not want to be seen. Like, that type of attention can really mess with your self-esteem when you're not ready for it, when you're not at the capacity to handle it, because you don't want to be seen. Like, I just didn't want anybody to see me. Like, if anything, the D's on it when I started liking boys was for the boys that was around my age. Like, I could take and handle their attention because I didn't feel like I had to submit to them. I felt like they were my peers, so I can talk to them. An older man just giving you all that, it ain't right. So, anywho, that, you know, that was my experience with Jamaicans. And then with how, I don't know if assumptive is a word, but that's something, I don't know what this is right here. My bad. Just a string out of place. Like, they have this assumption that because you're born up a foreign, right? You're born in a foreign place, or you're born outside of the Caribbean, that you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. And I don't know if anybody else from other areas of the Caribbean, whose families from other areas from the Caribbean, they're born either in England or they're born in the United States, if they understand what what I'm talking about. If you do, leave a comment. You know, I want to make a discussion out of it, because the way they treat you is like you owe them something. As soon as you land it, and I'm talking about my experience as a teenager onto an adult, when you land, they're already asking you for something, and the way that they ask you is just like, it's weird. Beg you $1, let me beg you something, like beg you something, whatever it is, beg you x equals something. And it's like, you just assume that I have something to give you, and you're aggressive with it. You're not asking me politely or whatever. You're aggressive to the point where it's like, if I'm by myself, you would try to rob me. Now, there's something else that I wanted to say about that. It's even from family members. Like, I've had all my family members except my grandmother and except my cousin who still live in Jamaica steal from me. And these are aunts, uncles, people who were adults when I was a child, even stealing clothes from me and wearing my clothes as a child, because they just assume that they can do that because you're taken care of from wherever you come from. Even now as an adult, me, you know, making money, you know, wanting to build my future, they want you speak to them and beg you some money, send some money, Western Union for me, do this for me. And it's like, when do you ever get to do something for yourself? Like, if I keep doing for you, do for you, by the time I'm an old woman, who's gonna do for me? I'm supposed to already have my stuff built up already, and like, how are you helping me if I keep building you up? You're just draining me. This is not an exchange. This is just you taking. Oh my goodness. And then my mom is, she was born in Jamaica, and but she came up here when she was young. I think she was like 17 years old. But she's super Americanized. And one thing she told me growing up with her parents is that her father did not, oh God rest my grandfather, I love him, that he didn't allow them to speak patois. Now that is my aunt. She's a Lego gal. Yes, she's a yachty. So she just totally went against the grain. But my uncle and my mom, they speak so proper to the point where Jamaicans don't consider them Jamaican. So my mom is super Americanized. So I didn't really grow up hearing the patois so much until I went down there. And of course I can understand it. To me, it's not another language. It just sounds like English with I don't like to use the term broken English because I'm a linguist, but I'll use it for colloquial terms. It's like broken English, and with ghetto terms here and there, or whatever terms that they use, some country terms from up in the country in Jamaica that they use and integrate into the language that they call Jamaican patois. But I'll say some of them like to use it to intimidate people, and I'm looking at them like, y'all just act like y'all the biggest, baddest people on earth. Why are you so angry? You're so angry, and it's so beautiful down there. I'm telling you, if you go to Westmoreland, you think you teleported to some Garden of Eden. It's so beautiful. It's just so vast. All this, excuse me, I'm spitting all over the place, but whatever. All this green land, sun shining, the beach, like, it's beautiful out there, and y'all so angry. You got fruits growing off the trees. You can eat food 24/7. You got your winter fruits, your rainy season fruits and your dry season fruits, and you got all these fruits, and you, like, the hell are y'all so angry for? And I don't want to hear the excuse that it's because of poverty. I remember way back in the day in college, I had this conversation with somebody who was like, yeah, we need to go to Haiti, because I was part of like this black group. They was like, we need to go to Haiti. I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to go to Haiti, because I'm using my experiences that I had in Jamaica as a reason not to go and not wanting to be a participant of that dynamic. And the guy, he told me straight, he's like, being poor doesn't have anything to do with violence. Like, Haitians are poor, they're not violent. Now, that was a couple years ago. I don't know if things changed, but when he said that to me, I was like, wow, I never looked at it like that. I never equated the two. And I heard it again years later after that, after following lectures from Bobby Hemmett, when Bobby was saying that, in the 1930s, I don't curse, y'all. I may type curse for those that know me from the chat. I don't really curse like that. But he was like, niggas poor in the 30s. Niggas wasn't violent. Like, something with these new age niggas, they putting the chemtrails in the air, they poisoning your food, got y'all niggas violent. That's what Bobby said. It was funny when he said it, but it's true. Like, being poor does not equate to violence, because during the Great Depression, niggas, according to Bobby Hemmett, were not violent. So why are we violent in a place that people are trying to escape to? People still consider Jamaica and the majority of the Caribbean as a resort area, as a tourist area, so they can, have fun on the beach, chill, and get good food, which some areas are. But it's like, I didn't have that experience because I'm not a tourist. Another reason why I don't like Jamaicans, man, it's because y'all don't accept people that was born outside of Jamaica, and I don't understand that. Like, I don't know if it's because it's an English-speaking thing, because the difference between the Caribbean and the West Indies is the language. So Caribbean is the location. That's the location in this part of the world. We're going to call this side the Caribbean. But when you say West Indies or West Indian, that pertains to the people who speak English. So I'm West Indian. My family is West Indian because they're part of the Caribbean that speaks English. So it's like, I feel like, I don't know if it's a West Indian thing. I don't know if the Trini people do this. I don't know if the Grenadian people do this. But I know my experience as being a Jamaican is, you know what? It might just be a Jamaican thing, because my father's from Barbados and they do not treat me like that. When I go over there, I'm fully accepted with this heavy New York accent. I'm fully accepted, and so be it. But y'all, I'm saying, if I tell a Jamaican, yeah, my mom, even in the States, my mom is from Jamaica, whatever, you ain't Jamaican. Okay, well, I guess I'm not. So when people ask me, like, people think that I'm exotic, whatever, or I look different. They're like, where's your background? What's your background? I'm like, or no, not what's your background. Where are you from? I'm like, I'm American. Oh, you American? Well, I have to say I'm American because Jamaicans do not accept me. I want to be accepted. If Jamaicans were able to accept their offsprings that were born all over the world, they would be in such a better state with their economic state, because people will feel more comfortable with wanting to go down there and live and build, because my people are accepting me. They're welcoming me back here, so I can go and I can build and I can help them grow and I can help them build. It will be an exchange. Except no, you get treated like a stepchild if you tell a Jamaican who either migrated up here to the U.S. or who's down there that you're Jamaican by way of a parent, by way of both your parents being Jamaican. It's like, it's not enough for them. Like, and I don't like that, because I don't see Puerto Ricans doing that. Bajans don't do that. I don't see St. Lucians doing that. Why is it that the people that I want to be a part of and I want to help are so quick to reject me off of the fact that I wasn't born in the struggle with them? It's not fair. Another thing that I don't like about Jamaicans is they are so quick to attack black tourists or their own. And that goes beyond being Jamaican. That's something that I'll talk about maybe in another video. But they're quick to attack their own. And I'm just talking about skin color, like black people. If you're a black person and you're going to Jamaica, make sure you stay within the tourist grounds, unless you are close friends with a native Jamaican and they have people that live down there and they can show you around, because they can almost excuse me, I gotta eat. I ain't eat nothing all day today. They are quick to be able to decipher you from out of the crowd. It's kind of like Americans or tourists, people who are non-native Jamaicans. They can smell you. They can just, it don't matter if you Rasta, it don't matter. Like, you can look identical to Bob Marley. I'm only using him because he's a famous Jamaican. You could look identical to Elephant Man. There is something about you that they can see. No, they're not Jamaican. So because they're not Jamaican and they're in our country and in our land, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rob you. Or if you're around me, I'm going to speak all this patois, so you don't understand what I'm saying, so you can feel left out. Like, they'll just do these crazy things to either make you feel uncomfortable or literally harm you. But let Whitey walk on through. Please, phone don't fall. Let Whitey walk on through bright and white. I'm sorry to use these condescending terms, because I'm not like a black supremacist or anything like that. But let white and bright walk on through, and they turn into all masses. Yeah, like the yes masses. Yes massa. They want to show you around. They want to do this. I don't maybe it's because they feel like they'll get more money being nice to the white folks versus the black folks. I don't know what it is, but they get preferential treatment. So if you are white, light and bright, and you're going through the streets of Jamaica, you will be more protected than if I decide to walk through, if any other black person decides to walk through. And that is just so annoying to me. I hate to see black people get so riled up with one another and then turn into these slave-minded people when they see someone from the opposite race walk past them. You turn into this caterer. It's so annoying. I think this is my last reason why I don't like Jamaicans. I have this saying where poor people don't know how to be served. Poor people don't know how to be served. I've been working in customer service longer than I need to. And you can just tell when a poor person got into some money how they treat other people. Poor people are the ones that do this. They're the ones that look at you like you're supposed to know exactly what it is that they want. They're the ones that speak to you in a condescending manner. They're the ones that are quick to curse. They're the ones that once they find out something is free, they want everything. Because I'm talking about a poor mentality. So a poor mentality does not know how to be served. You don't know the class of being waited on. You don't know that there's class in having people to, hand you items and give you an opportunity to state what it is you need without you just ready to take. And the way you're asking is not a way that someone who has what's the word? A wealthy, that's not the word I was looking for, but a wealthy state of mind, which is a healthy state of mind, would treat somebody. You're going to treat that person as you would want to be treated. If you want something, if you want more of whatever it is you're ordering, or you want more of this, more of that, there's a way that you ask, there's a way that you communicate that idea, as opposed to just assuming that you need to be catered to because you spent X amount of dollars for this experience. So because you spent X, you saved your whole entire pay all year, all year round, you saved up all this money, broke your back twice to finally get the money so you could get this experience. And I'm going to have to go because my phone is on 10%. That you deserve. You have this entitled energy that you just deserve everything, and you get to treat people like how you feel like you were treated. Because wealthy people don't act like that. When wealthy people pay for whatever experience they paid, first of all, they didn't have to work 1 or 2 years to save up the money, so they're not looking at this like, looking at something like this is a great expenditure, and I'm never gonna experience this again, so let me walk with my nose up. It's just another experience with them, and it's more of a gracious attitude, as opposed to the one that's just so ungrateful. Not ungrateful, it's like they're grateful, but they just don't know how to be gracious. That poor people mentality, and I'm sorry, but Jamaicans, y'all do that the most. I have a serious love-hate relationship with Jamaicans, and whether y'all want to accept me or not, I'm part of you. I wouldn't be here if my mommy didn't get her groove on with a Bayesian and my mom's Jamaican. I'm here. Like, you gotta accept me, you gotta love me, because I love you guys, but I don't like the way you treat me. That's why I said I don't like Jamaicans, but guess what? I'll always love you, because you are me and I am you. Bye, y'all.